For those who don't know, we don't live in a version of the 1999 movie, The Matrix, starring Keanu Reeves. Did you know you can't slow things down to bullet time and make rapid changes to momentum? You can't actually do that. But the NFL, college football, because they're nervous about all the lawsuits they are facing, have, over the last couple of years, forgotten that, yes, it's really hard to determine whether or not you need to tackle someone in today's NFL when a player might slide, drop to the ground, curl up in the fetal position at any moment on the field. I am a big believer in this, and some will call me barbaric for it, but I believe that defenders' lives matter. I do. Is it because I was an all-district safety in high school who was a fantastic tackler that often led with his helmet? Yes, it is. I am biased because someone needs to stand up for defenders, because that hit by Denzel Perriman netted a 3-game suspension for, quote, repeated violations of playing rules intended to protect the health and safety of players. Who wrote that? Ironically, NFL Vice President of Football Operations, Jon Runyan. For those who remember, Jon Runyan might have been the dirtiest offensive lineman to ever play football. He was a tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. Notorious. Look it up. Jon Runyan was always considered one of the dirtiest players in the league. And here this guy is, graduating to some sort of office in the NFL, wussifying the game. So Perriman can appeal the ban. Derek Brooks would hear it. I imagine that he would perhaps get this changed because Kareem Jackson, remember earlier this year, former Texan cornerback turned safety, Kareem Jackson with the Broncos was decapitating guys out there? Much more egregious hits than this one by Perriman on Jamar Chase. He got suspended for 4 games. That suspension was reduced to 2 after he appealed. But what Kareem Jackson did, and Jackson's always been a big hitter, was way worse than anything Denzel Perriman has done. So I look at that and I'm like, wait a second. So Perriman got 3? How did he get 3 when Kareem Jackson originally got 4 and it got reduced to 2? If you're going to give Perriman a suspension, 1, 3, where does 3 come from? Well, as Jon Runyan wrote, 6 violations throughout his career. J.J. Watt pushed back on this. 6 violations throughout his career? He played in the league for 8 years. 6 penalties in 102 games mean you deserve to be suspended 3 games without pay? 3 paychecks? Down the drain? I'm with him here. I'm with him. It's a sign America is being wussified. It's one of many. Team games are becoming individual games. We're talking so much about the MVP. Remember when we did that back in the late 2010s with James Harden and Russell Westbrook? We weren't talking about whether or not the Rockets could win a title. We were talking about the MVP. Who cares? It's a team game. Talk about the Heisman Trophy. Who cares? Team game. I think that focusing on individual accolades as opposed to all that matters, winning, it's a sign of the decline of America. A sign of the wussification of America. And who would have thought that football would be going the route of softer than basketball? Did you see what happened last night? Like, the NBA is a tougher league than the NFL. There were 3 fights last night. 3! Not 1, not 2, 3!
I mean, it was an in-season tournament night, so...
That's true.
This was, to my knowledge, just a regular season Texans Bengals game.
It was a regular season game. So
the field was painted normal, so who cares?
3-game suspension, though. Clearly the NFL cared. Like, this game was, I don't know, a Super Bowl. Thought it was a Super Bowl for the Texans going into it. Might have been the Bengals Super Bowl, given that they're in last place in the AFC North. But to bring it back to this, basketball. 3 fights last night. Draymond Green put Rudy Gobert in a headlock 2 minutes into the game. He and Klay Thompson were ejected. Steph Curry wasn't playing, and Rudy Gobert brought up an interesting point. Every time Steph does not play, Green doesn't want to play without his guy Steph, so he does everything he can to get ejected. Takes a drag from his cigarette. Clown behavior. Mon frère. Interesting point by Rudy Gobert. I've liked Draymond Green. I know that's a controversial take to have in Houston, but I saw Anthony Edwards calling him out a couple of nights ago, and I couldn't agree more. The tough guy act with Draymond, he should dial it back because it just highlights how old he is. He's got more gray in his beard than I have in mine, which is why I shave it now because I'm trying to impress the ladies.
It was a funny moment. It was like almost in a hockey game where they just like immediately dropped the gloves because that's like basically what happened. It was like the second time down the court that Jaden McDaniels and Klay Thompson just started like tossing each other around, and then Draymond Green just ran in and headlocked Rudy Gobert for no apparent reason.
Everyone hates Rudy Gobert, so that's part of it.
No, it very much was a like, here's my chance.
Here's my chance. I'm just going to put him in the headlock. And guess what? You get to go to the
showers
early.
And no one's going to break it up because everyone on the Timberwolves is like,
They are such a soft organization.
Just maybe, I want to see him turn purple.
You have 2 7-foot-tall guys. Like, you should win every fight. Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert, like, you should be clubbing people to death. Anyway, more fights. Spurs and the Thunder, they got in a shoving match. Some guy named Collins, some guy named Williams. I don't know who either of them are. I don't care. I looked up online. There was no, like, actual write-up about the fight either.
Because, like, 9 other fights happened between way more interesting
That's
players.
true. But, hey, like, it's the Spurs. They got Wemby. They lost by 40 with Wemby.
Yeah.
Greg Popovich, does he care anymore? But Wemby got a technical foul for slamming the ball, and it is about time that these damn French bastards learn respect. Not just Rudy Gobert. Oh, I did not know that spiking the ball was considered something uncouth. Yeah, it is. It is Victor Wembanyama.
It's a faux pas. That's what it is.
Anthony Davis and Santi Aldama got double technicals for a shoving match in a Lakers-Grizzlies game. Anthony Davis, no word on whether or not he's going to miss 5 games for getting shoved. We'll see. But there's more fighting going on in the NBA than in the NFL, and it is a sign of the wussification of America. This is not just on the NFL. This is not just on... who else can I blame? This is not just on fantasy football dorks who want to see better numbers.
Analytics.
It's definitely on analytics. There's so many reasons for the wussification of America. And now Denzel Perryman, one of our beloved Houston Texans, has been put in football jail without a trial because of it. Because our country is getting softer. It's on parents too, you know? It's on parents. It's on everybody. We've got to be better as a country. I don't know what we do. We might need to bring on a guest analyst in just a moment. Welcome back to the Tucker Paulson Show. American values continue to deteriorate in Joe Biden's America, which has certainly become wussified. As an NFL defender, you used to be able to give another player a love tap by spearing him in the helmet. Can't do that anymore. Denzel Perryman, the President Donald Trump of the NFL for making the Texans defense great again, is in sports jail after persecution by the woke NFL. It's not the only league where we're seeing America be wussified. You used to have to be a man to lead a championship sports dynasty, like Dusty Baker, a Marine with the Houston Astros. Remember when he led the Astros to a World Series title a little over a year ago? You also used to be able to call nerds obsessed with numbers gay, then shove them in a locker. Not anymore. Thanks to Joe Biden, those nerds have hijacked our country. Take woke online fans bullying Dusty Baker for not embracing analytics, the precursor for artificial intelligence ultimately taking over sports and forcing the Astros to move on, hiring a Latinx manager to take his place. What is happening? What is going on? In woke Joe Biden's America, the terrorists always win. So to go back to Denzel Perryman, there are some comments here on the most interactive sports talk show in Houston as I remove my red, white, and blue American flag bow tie and get out of character. There was some pushback to me supporting defenders, saying defenders' lives matter. And I say that because defenders are not equally protected in the NFL. It's a team game, right? Why are quarterbacks so much more protected? Why are wide receivers so much more protected than defensive players? Can a defensive player get hurt on any given play? A text, wussifying, LOL. Have you ever read any of the CTE research? No, because I speared so many people playing high school football. I can't read anymore. 100% positive finding for all NFL players is no joke. Because I can read research, I am now that wuss. Full stop. My son will never play football at any level ever. Well, guess what? He's never winning a national championship, and he's never winning a Super Bowl. And he's never winning a flag football championship, like your boy. Huh. Who's the real loser here? This is a comment from the twitch.tv/ESPN 97.5. Finding out Paul led with his helmet explains why half the show is dumb. I mean, yeah. Now you figured it out.
Yeah, there's half of the... Where was I? What was I talking about? There's half of them you could just
we haven't had
back
one today.
To Shorecrest Preparatory.
Sorry, I left it all on the line for that gold dot. For the gold dot. We had a flag in the north end zone, and it was a green flag with a gold dot. And you did it for the dot. Touched the flagpole after the game. You did it for the dot. I don't know why we did it. Do you want me to sing the Shorecrest fight song? I could. Sean's shaking his head no. Okay, fine. Sean doesn't like music. Another text. So you're saying that you don't care about the safety of the players. I mean, that's what you're saying. All it takes is one hit illegally to maim a player for life, Paulie G. I just think it's BS that as an offensive player, you can come to a complete stop, drop to the ground, and the defender is supposed to stop in his tracks and not hit you. And acting like it is easy to target an offensive player while you are running full speed towards them. For anyone who's played at any level, it is hard, man. Maybe you stop leading with your helmet. You're leading with your shoulder. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't lead with your shoulder in certain spots of the body. You can't hit too low. You can't hit too high. And it's a violent game. Like, if you're playing the game, there is a little element of you that is crazy. And obviously, it's dangerous. Obviously. And you don't want all these guys that are walking around afterwards with completely debilitating injuries. You don't want them to be like some of those boxers that we see. But I think now, at the very least, everyone's got to admit they know what they knew what they signed up for. I suppose growing up, you didn't know that there were going to be long-term debilitating effects. You probably should have been smart enough to know that, but I think anyone growing up playing football, you probably aren't thinking about that as a kid. Maybe as a parent you are. I get what they're doing, truly, but it's not done for player safety. It's done for the NFL's wallet. They're trying to protect themselves. And I just think it's unfair that defensive players who also can get hurt have so many obstacles that they have to overcome, where specifically quarterbacks and wide receivers, the two highest paid positions in the league, it seems like these days, those two positions are protected way more than other players. That's what I don't like about it. More comments here. Hockey allows fights with sticks and blades. I don't think they allow it with the sticks and the blades. I don't think they do that. But they do allow fights. But the fights have definitely been pulled back a little bit. Not just the wussification of America there, my friends. That is also the wussification of Canada.
Yeah, it'd be so cool, though, if they could just, like, take off their skate. Yeah, their skate and, like, hold it like it's brass knuckles where the blade is pointed out, and they're fighting like it's like a... like it's John
Mad
Wick.
Max,
yeah.
Thunderdome.
Like it's John Wick just going for people's throats.
Listen, that is actually dangerous.
No.
So I'm not endorsing that.
But they do it in movies all the time.
I don't know if there's been a movie where people got into a
knife fight.
A knife fight. There is the movie Sudden Death featuring Jean-Claude Van Damme. Takes place at a Pittsburgh Steelers game. Actually, a pretty good action movie. I think it's Jean-Claude Van Damme's best action movie. And I know he did Bloodsport, and there's a couple other ones that he did too. But Sudden Death is by far my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, where I think he's like a firefighter, and somehow he ends up stopping a terrorist attack from happening at a Pittsburgh Penguins game, and he plays goalie for a little bit in it. Spoiler alert, but it's
What? Spoiler.
he fights the Penguins mascot.
Oh, like an Ace Ventura.
Yeah, except for an Ace Ventura, I don't think there was a death. In this,
No,
there's
there
a
wasn't.
death. Like the mascot, spoiler alert, dies. There's also a great Chris Pratt song from Parks and Rec singing about the movie Sudden Death. It's like an acoustic guitar song about it. It's great. Giving you all sorts of fun facts
Where were
today.
we? What were we talking about?
Wussification of America.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
I thought I got hit in the head as a youth.
That's why everyone listens to the show, Sean. It's because of my brain damage, okay? The brain damage that I suffered playing football, knowing that one day, as someone who wouldn't make it to the NFL, which I only discovered when I was 17, that I'd be doing a sports talk show, and that I would be forgetting half of what I'm saying half the time. But just half. But I do remember what I'm saying. You'll learn a thing or two. But we were on the wussification of America. You know what? I got to say, there is one thing where America hasn't wussified on. And we do need to talk about this right now because I'm shocked by how many people have embraced it. Remember when there was a war on Christmas? You probably like stumbled in the last time that you were at your dad's place. He's watching Fox News. And there's like a story about the war on Christmas that's going on, whether it's Bill O'Reilly or Sean Hannity or whoever the hell else is now in place of Tucker Carlson. There's always somebody talking about the war on Christmas. Guys, the war was ended. You know why the war ended? Because people are putting up Christmas decorations after Halloween now. Has anyone else noticed that? Has anyone else noticed that now people are just putting up their Christmas decorations? Christmas won and then some. You can hear holiday music already. I thought that wasn't supposed to happen until after Thanksgiving. Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, Christmas cards. But go to the majority of stores and you will see Christmas stuff already out there. Guys, we won the war on Christmas. Christmas won. So our country is wussifying and deteriorating in a lot of different ways. Thanks, Biden. But we have won and then some when it comes to the war on Christmas. Now, Christmas is at war with other holidays. Christmas is kind of infringing on Halloween.
I was going to say it's more of a war on Halloween. And Thanksgiving, sorry, you already lost. It's that we're giving up that territory that is Thanksgiving with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It's a two-front war. They got you coming in, going.
Because Black Friday is trying to make Thanksgiving last a little bit longer.
Black Friday has, Black Friday is really just a Christmas holiday. If you think about it, it's just pre-Christmas.
Yeah,
it's buying all the gifts for Christmas.
Because the war on Christmas is just been so totally won, and we don't even know.
Black Friday has Christmas in a headlock. Cyber Monday is punching it in the stomach like it's Rudy Gobert. That did not happen in the Warriors Minnesota game, but I'm sure there's some fan fiction about that. But I think Halloween's where the war is now.
Seriously,
I think the Christmas army is marching forward through the calendar. Next is going to be Labor Day.
Oh, how
no!
dare
Actually,
they.
it's going to be Columbus Day. And everyone will be like,
everyone will be fine with that. Yeah. Well, the Teamsters are going to step up and stop that. By the way, we might have some Teamsters versus a United States Senator audio to play on this show. Paul, could you stick to sports? I would if I didn't suffer so many injuries as a defensive player. But as a defensive player, as a persecuted football player, like, I understand why I have brain damage. It's because the NFL decided that they wanted to protect wide receivers and quarterbacks. Oh, Paul, you probably played safety because you couldn't catch. That's not the point. It's not the point that my hands were terrible. The point is now that I was a defender and Denzel Perriman is a defender. And I'm defending the defender because someone needs to defend the defenseless defenders.